Hey, welcome back to Scott's Reading Sports Daily, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with my dad today. We are back, and after 2 weeks of missing, we are back, ready to go this week. Let's get into those picks right now. Just so you know, I'll probably be posting on Thursday again next week because I have state softball next week, so I'll probably be posting same time, same place next week. Let's get into the picks right now. First off, tomorrow night, UCF and Tulsa. UCF right on the edge of being ranked last week. If a couple of the top 25 teams lose this week, I expect to see UCF in the top 25 next week. So I'll take UCF to get the win in a very cold weekend, in a very cold game this week. I'll take UCF to get it done on the road against Tulsa.
I agree. Tulsa's not a very good team. UCF is playing better in spurts. So I like UCF to win by at least 2 touchdowns this weekend.
Next up, number one, Ohio State coming in after getting ranked number one in the college football playoff poll last week as they host the Maryland Terrapins. I will go with Ohio State to get the win here, and I do not think they'll cover the 43.5. I'll take Ohio State at home against Maryland.
I agree. Ohio State is definitely one of the top 2 teams in the country. They're playing very, very well on both sides of the ball. I think they'll blow out Maryland easily.
Next up, Penn State and Minnesota should be a good game on Saturday. 2 undefeated teams. I will take Penn State to get the win here. Penn State's had a much tougher schedule to get here than Minnesota has. So I'll take Penn State on the road to get it done against the Gophers.
This is an underrated game. You've got 2 undefeated teams. Minnesota has played a weak schedule, but this is a Big Ten game on the road. With that said, I like Penn State here, but in a close one.
Next up, Vandy and Florida should be a good game this weekend. No problems here. I'll take Florida to rebound after a tough loss last week to Georgia. I think Florida bounces back and beats probably one of the worst Vandy teams I've seen in a long time. I'll take Florida to get the win at home over Vandy.
I agree. I think Florida wins this game. Vandy is down this year, but Vandy always gives us a tough game. I think we'll win, but I don't think we'll cover the spread.
Next up, Baylor and TCU should be a good game on Saturday. I believe TCU's up to their third-string quarterback right now. But I will take Baylor on the road to get it done. Don't look ahead to next week, and I think they'll get it done. I'll take Baylor on the road to get the win and head into next week against Oklahoma, still undefeated. I will take Baylor on the road.
Baylor, to me, is similar to Minnesota in that they've really benefited from an easy schedule early on. With that said, I think they get the win against TCU, but I do think it'll be close, like a field goal kind of game.
Next up, East Carolina and SMU should be a good game. SMU lost last week to Memphis to get their first loss of the year. But I will take SMU to rebound. I think they've had a much better season than East Carolina has. Even though East Carolina could have helped us out last week, they just couldn't get it done. I'll take SMU at home over East Carolina.
East Carolina had their one chance to upset a top 25 team last week, didn't get it done. I think they're going to have a letdown. I think SMU's going to be angry from losing. I think SMU beats East Carolina handily.
Next up, LSU and Alabama. Tuscaloosa should be a great weekend this week. 2 versus 3 should be a phenomenal matchup. I'll take LSU, I guess, on the road. I'm actually going to take Alabama. I think Alabama will find a way. Nick Saban said Tua is expected to go this week. I don't know how healthy he's going to be, but I think the receivers for Alabama will get it done for him this week. I'll take Alabama to win a really close one this week at home against LSU.
I think the X factor in this game is Tua healthy? Is Tua the same Tua that he was through the first 3 or 4 games of the season? If Tua's fully healthy, I think Alabama wins, but I don't think Tua's going to be fully healthy. So I'm going to take LSU in the upset on the road because I do not think Tua will be 100%.
Next up, Kansas State and Texas in Austin this weekend. 70 degrees kickoff this weekend in Austin. Should be nice weather there. I'm going to take Texas to pull off the upset at home to upset Kansas State and give them their 3rd loss of the season. I will take Texas to get back into the Big 12 championship race here and get a win at home over Kansas State.
Kansas State is one of those teams that plays much better at home than they do on the road. So I'm going to take Texas as well in about a touchdown game.
Next up, Wake Forest and Virginia Tech. Tough game here, but I'll take Wake Forest on the road. Wake Forest has looked good all season. Again, a weak schedule has gotten them here, but I'll take Wake Forest to get a win on the road against Virginia Tech on Saturday.
You're not suggesting the ACC's weak, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. So Wake Forest just feasted on easy ACC competition. I think that Virginia Tech's going to give them all they can handle, but I think Wake Forest will win in a really, really close game.
Next up, UConn and Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati had another bye week this week with this scheduling here. I'll take Cincinnati to win, and I think they might cover the spread here up 35. I just don't know if that could happen. I'll take Cincinnati at home, though, to get it down against UConn.
UConn's bad since he's pretty darn good since he wins big.
Next up, Iowa and Wisconsin should be another good game on Saturday. Sucks that they're putting all the good games on at the same time this weekend. I'll take Wisconsin at home to get it done against Iowa. I think Jonathan Taylor's going to run the ball down the field this week. Give me Wisconsin at home in Madison against Iowa.
I'm only taking Wisconsin because they're at home. I think if this is in Iowa City, I think Iowa gets it done. I think it's going to be a really close competitive game, but I like Wisconsin to win at home.
Next up, Missouri and Georgia should be a good game. I will take Georgia and Jake Fromm to keep it going. Looked good last week. Every year, I think Georgia's not looking as good as they do, and then they show up for the Florida game and they just show out, and then that's what they'll do here. Keep a stranglehold of the SEC East, and then they get it done here against Missouri.
I think Georgia's going to have a letdown this week after beating Florida. I think they still beat Missouri, but I do not think they'll cover the spread.
Next up, Clemson and NC State should be a good game. 7:30 on ABC. I will take Clemson on the road to get it done here. No problems here. Trevor Lawrence and Clemson will find a way to get it done on the road against NC State.
I agree. The ACC is a very, very. I think honestly, UCF's conference is better than the ACC right now. I think Clemson wins this one easily.
Next up, Notre Dame and Duke should be a good game on the ACC network. I will take Ian Book and Notre Dame to keep it going. Not as close as it was last week. I think they get a much easier win this week than they did last week against Virginia Tech. I'll take Notre Dame to get the win on the road against Duke.
I agree. Notre Dame wins.
Next up, Iowa State and Oklahoma. Another game that I think could be very close. It's been close the last couple of years. But I'm going to stick with Oklahoma to get it done. I think the Sooners will keep it going and get into next week with one loss on their schedule. So I'll take Oklahoma to get a win on the at home against Iowa State.
Iowa State's a really tough team at home. On the road, not as much. I think Oklahoma wins this game pretty easily.
Next up, Wyoming and Boise should be a good game this weekend. 10:15 on ESPN. I'm going to take Boise State to get it done on the Smurf turf this weekend. No problems here. Give me Boise at home over Wyoming.
I agree. Boise State gets the win.
Now into the NFL games for the weekend. Should be another great weekend of NFL action. First game out tonight, Thursday Night Football, as the Chargers head into Oakland to take on the Raiders. Should be a good game tonight in Oakland. I will take Phillip Rivers and the Chargers to keep the momentum going. They looked good last week against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And then they keep it going. Give me the Chargers on the road against the Raiders.
Oakland's been kind of a surprise team. All the turmoil they had in the offseason, I thought their season they were going to tank, but they're actually pretty good. I'm going to take Oakland in this game.
Next up, probably the worst game of the weekend. If you like offense, this game is great for you because neither of these teams care about defense. As it'll be the Bucs and the Cardinals, 1 p.m. at Raymond James Stadium. I will take the Bucs to get the win here. I feel like this will be one of our last wins of the season right here. I'll take the Bucs to get a win here at home against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
Man, it's hard to pick the Bucs at this point. They are playing awful, but it is the Cardinals and we're at home, so I think the Bucs win in a close one. No, actually, I take that back. James will throw an interception late, and the Cardinals will win by field goal.
Next up, the Lions and the Bears. Two teams that are going in opposite directions of where I thought they would this year. I'm going to take the Bears to get it going, though. They'll end that losing streak right here. I'll take the Bears to end that 4-game losing streak right here and get it done at home at Soldier Field against the Lions. And they'll see each other in a couple of weeks for Game 2 on Thanksgiving. So give me the Bears at home over the Lions.
I agree. I think if this game was in Detroit, I would take the Lions. But since the game is in Chicago, I will take the Bears.
Which actually will be in Detroit on Thanksgiving. So that's going to be a good game to watch while you're enjoying all that turkey and all the other stuff on Thanksgiving.
Fair enough.
Next up, Ravens and Bengals should be a good game. Ravens pulled off the upset of the year so far last weekend, upsetting New England on Sunday night. Nobody saw that coming. I'll take Baltimore to keep it going against Ryan Finley and the Bengals.
Ryan who?
Ryan Finley, he went to NC State, I believe.
Never heard of him. So with that said, I think the Ravens win big. I think the Ravens win was a surprise, but I don't think Belichick was playing his best defense against the Ravens. So I think he was saving his best defense for them in the playoffs. But I still think the Ravens are going to win.
Next up, Buffalo and Cleveland should be a good game. Again, two teams I expected to go in opposite directions this year. I expect the Buffalo to be a little down, and I expect the Cleveland to be a potential playoff team this year. But it's not looking good right now for the Browns. I think I will take Josh Allen and the Browns to keep it going. I need Josh Allen to have a good week this week if I want to win in fantasy against my cousin Nick. So I'm going to take Josh Allen and the Bills to keep it going on the road to get it done against Cleveland.
I think this will be a close game because it'll be at Cleveland, but I think the Bills will find a way to win, but it'll be like a field goal kind of game.
Next up, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee lost last week to Carolina, and Kansas City won last week against...
They won. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can't remember. Last second field goal, I believe they won by last week. I will take the Chiefs to keep going. Patrick Mahomes was the full practice participant yesterday, so I don't know if they're going to let him play this week. I wouldn't. I would let him wait one more week. I'll take the Chiefs to get it done against Ryan Tannehill and the Titans.
Whether they have Mahomes or not, I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. Obviously, with Mahomes in and healthy, the Chiefs win big. But if not, then I think it'll be a close game, but I think they will still beat the Titans.
Next up, the Jets and the Giants should be a good game on Sunday. Neither team's going anywhere this year, honestly. I told myself I was just going to take the underdog in this game, so it looks like I'm going to be taking Sam Darnold and the Jets to get it done at home, I guess, against the Giants.
I'm going to take the Giants in this one, although who knows? Neither team is very good. No one really cares except for people in New York. But I will take the Giants to beat the Jets.
And the Jets fans, man, come on. You guys lost to the Dolphins last week. That is just embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
Next up, the Atlanta Falcons, who are also an embarrassing team. I've been calling them all year the worst team in the NFC, and I'm standing by that right now. As they head into New Orleans to take on the Saints. Give me Drew Brees and the Saints to win this game by halftime. I think they actually have the game won once they arrive at the stadium. I'll take the Saints to get it done at home over the Falcons.
It's pretty bold. I think the Saints win this game. Atlanta is going in the wrong direction. The Saints have been playing very well, so give me the Saints.
Next up, the Dolphins and the Colts. Dolphins got their first win of the season last week against the Jets, and the Colts lost on a last-second field goal against the Steelers. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to keep it going. Jacoby Brissett may not play this week, but I feel like Brian Hoyer will do enough this week to get it done at home against the Dolphins.
Hoyer's still in the league?
He is.
Wow. I still think the Colts will win, even with Hoyer at quarterback. The Dolphins are terrible, and they're on the road. So give me the Colts.
Next up, Carolina and Green Bay should be a great game this weekend. Two very good teams. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to get it done, though, at home. The Packers have been looking very good this year. Aaron Rodgers has looked very good this year, very healthy. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to keep it going and keep a stranglehold of the NFC North here with a win over the Panthers.
I agree. I think the Panthers are an average team. The Packers are one of the top echelon teams in the NFC. So give me the Packers to win this one.
Next up, the Rams and the Steelers at Heinz Field. Tough game for me to pick here. I can go with my head or I can go with my heart. I'm going to go with my head all season. So I'm going to keep it going here. Give me Jared Goff and the Rams to get it done on the road at Heinz Field against the Steelers.
Everything about this game says the Rams should win. The Steelers are not very good. The Rams, while they're not playing that well, personnel-wise are better. But the Steelers have one thing the Rams do not, and that's a fan by the name of Terry Jewell. So based upon Terry Jewell and how hard he roots for the Steelers, give me the Steelers in this game.
You should be actually thanking me for not picking the Steelers, Terry. Every time I pick against them, they seem to win. So let's see if that keeps going this week. Exactly.
Nice.
Next up, the Vikings and the Cowboys. Sunday Night Football should be a great game this week. Two mediocre quarterbacks, Case Keenum and Dak Prescott. I'm going to take the Cowboys to get it done at home, though. Cowboys have looked better this season as they have against all the other teams. Just one slip-up all season for them, honestly, against the Jets. Don't know how that happened. I'll take the Cowboys to get it done at home against the Vikings.
Yeah, the Cowboys just seemed to turn it around. They were really struggling kind of a few games ago, but they're playing better now. So I like the Cowboys over the Vikings in this one.
Next up, Russell Wilson, the current MVP front runner, and the Seattle Seahawks head in to Levi Stadium to take on the only undefeated team left in the NFL. That would be Jimmy G and the Niners. Give me San Francisco to win this one at home. I feel like the Niners defense is better than Seattle's. I'm going to take San Francisco at home to get it done against a stingy Seattle defense. I'll take San Francisco at home against the Seahawks.
This is a really tough game to pick for me because I think Seattle wants to make a statement in this game. I think they want to knock San Francisco off, but San Francisco's been in Seattle's shadow for a number of years. So I think the fact that it's at home, I think San Francisco has a slight edge, but it should be a really close game.
And just FYI to my best friend Riley Carey, who probably does not watch these videos, I will not be picking against the Niners until the end of the season. Until they hoist that Lombardi trophy as undefeated Super Bowl champions, I will not pick against them until they get that done.
So you pick them in the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Wow.
Just to upset Riley, I guess.
There you go.
And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Bean Sports Today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back next week. Same time, next Thursday night, probably right around this time again. No time to do it Friday. I'll be back on Thursday again next week, right here with my dad. Should be a great time. Oh, wait. Wednesday night we'll be here. Wednesday night, because I forgot I have an announcing gig on Thursday night. So I'll be here Wednesday next week. A nice, bright and early Wednesday start next week. And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Weekend Sports. Subscribe, like, comment, and share on these videos. And I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekend Sports right here on YouTube. See you later, guys.
See you guys.